Trump sets the internet absolutely on fire with 2 words and 1 symbol. I hope you're up to speed on this story. HuffPost put up this article, 2 words, and Donald Trump's latest anti-immigrant rant sends chills down critics' spine. You may have heard a little bit about this, but have you put it in full context yet? 2 words. Sends chills down critics' spine, and it goes much further than this, much deeper than this. Kamala HQ goes at 1.3 million followers, puts up the following post with the following text. Trump says Project 2025 plan to throw migrants into mass detention camps will be a bloody story. It's all about context, and it's all about clips. Let's play this remark for 1 second.
And, getting them out will be a bloody story. Should have never been allowed to come into our country. Nobody checked them.
There was a soundbite. But have you gotten the full context of the story? Again, remember, it will be a bloody story. Bloody story, the 2 words that HuffPost is referring to. Those 2 words that sends chills down critics' spine. Internet goes on fire. Of course it does. Except there's something in the marker here that makes a big difference. I'm going to make this a little larger so you can see it. Kamala HQ posts a 9-second clip. Aaron Rupar puts up a 52-second clip. Did you ever see the 124? If you haven't, then you realize the game that's being played right now. And my friends, this is dirty pool. But it appears Trump's got something else up his sleeve because he just posted 1 symbol. And we're going to discuss that here in just 1 minute. Can't thank you all enough for being here today. If you do me a huge favor, make sure you're subscribed to Lisa's channel. To all the thousands that have joined recently, welcome home. You finally found your bastion of real news. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, she'll put a link just above. Can't tell you how much it means to both of us if you can subscribe to both platforms, because you never know which one we're going to appear on. And now, just a quick word from our sponsor.
Do you constantly feel exhausted or weighed down, or maybe even you struggled to get through the day? It could be that you have an overworked liver. The reality is that your liver is under constant attack from processed food, toxins, GMOs, microplastics, fluoride, and so many other things. And over time, this takes a serious toll. In fact, a staggering 100 million Americans now suffer from an overworked and sluggish liver, according to the American Liver Foundation. And that is about 1 in every 3 people. If you're tired of feeling that way, I highly recommend that you give your liver the support that it desperately needs. And you can do that by going to getliverhealth.com/haven, and you can check out the liver health formula from our sponsor, Pure Health Research. And right now, for my listeners only, you guys can try Liver Health Formula and get a free 1-month supply of nano powdered omega-3 to support your heart and health as well. Check it out by going to getliverhelp.com/haven. That's getliverhelp.com/haven. If you want more information, click that more button or click the link in the description box below. All right, back to the broadcast.
So let's get on to the sensationalism of this story, anatomy of a destruction campaign. Donald Trump warns getting migrants out will be a bloody story. Well, is that in the right context? Trump says his plan to expel millions of immigrants will be a bloody story. This on The Independent. First one, Newsweek. Go over to Washington Post. Trump reiterates there will be blood. They seem to use this storyline quite a bit now, don't they? September 9th, 2024. Aaron Blake publishes this. 6 months ago, Donald Trump presented us with all with a Rorschach test by predicting a bloodbath. You see how they threw that back in there? Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. Quoting him there. Trump said while discussing the economy and his tariff plan, it's going to be a bloodbath for the country. Somebody pulling that out of context, and they're doing the same thing again. And America's falling for it again, not you, of course. Trump lying about migrants and crime says mass deportation will be a bloody story. Mass deportations will be a bloody story. This on Salon. If you listen to the whole clip, that's not what he said. The former president has claimed he would use police and soldiers to deport at least 12 million undocumented people. How are we okay with this? The internet lights up. How are we sleepwalking into a presidency where the guy is openly promising to be a dictator, terminating the Constitution, put the military on the streets, round up his political opponents, and violent deport undocumented immigrants? How media, how WTF? Boy, they threw everything into that post, didn't they, again? At least they cited the 52-second clip and not the 9-second clip. Getting them out will be a bloody story. The promise of blood being spilled is, of course, a feature, not a bug, of Trump's promise immigration plan. Bill Kristol there stating that. Mark Jacob comes out, ex-editor of the Chicago Tribune and Sun-Times. Trump uses the word bloody to describe what he plans to do to immigrants. Wake up to the looming atrocity. Volunteer, donate, vote, stop Donald Trump from ruining our country. Impending bloodshed is the oil that keeps the Trump train rolling. Devin Burkhardt there. Charlie Sykes coming out, bloody story, quote, unquote. The brutality is the point. Trump gave him the soundbite. And they ran with it, didn't they? A 9-second clip. Let's listen to it just, no, actually, let's hold on a second. I want to give you more context first. This on The Atlantic. This is how they do it. This is the anatomy of a smear campaign. Trump promises a bloody story. His latest comments about mass deportation are a revelation about how he feels and a troubling reminder of the sources of his appeal. They go on further. What did Trump mean by bloody story? Question mark. He often fantasizes about unleashing state violence against groups and people he dislikes. Speaking to New York City cops in 2017, then President Trump crowned about how rough immigration officers are and urged the police, please don't be too nice when making arrests. During the protests and riots of the summer of 2020, Trump similarly demanded the police crack skulls and beat the blank out of demonstrators. Just shoot them, he repeated again and again at meetings attended by top officials, according to a book by the Wall Street Journal reporter Michael Bender. So we know what context that was in. There's more misinformation in that one paragraph, or at least contextual misrepresentation in that one paragraph. There's no context in that one paragraph. But have we come to expect anything else? False fact checks during a debate, articles, pulling words, sound bites, clips, because they know that's the most powerful thing to get your message across to the American people is sound bites and pictures. Little small quotes taking things out of context. And this story revolves around all of that. Trump's dangerous incitement of police violence. This was published in 2017. You see, the story hasn't changed. They have been working on this for a long time. It's what they feel is the only thing that can diffuse him. But remember, it's all about the length of clip.
And you know, getting them out will be a bloody story. Should have never been allowed to come into our country. Nobody checked them.
There was the 9-second clip with the headline, Trump says his Project 2025, which has already been debunked, plans to throw migrants into mass detention camps will be a bloody story. They're talking there about all migrants, allegedly, referring to Trump's statements. Aaron Rupart, Trump yesterday in Wisconsin, on his promise, mass deportation, again referring to everyone, plays the 52-second clip. Listen in here.
They are radicals headed up by a radical governor in Colorado that has no clue how to solve this influx of crime into his state. And by the way, Colorado's one state. It's much worse in other states. But in Colorado, they've taken over.
So just put that into context. What are they talking about in Colorado, to be more specific? Let's just do a simple internet search, shall we? Colorado gang takeover. Let's just type that in, because I know you've all heard the stories, right? Armed gang members take over Colorado apartment complex. Colorado mayor, police respond to Trump's claim that Venezuelan gangs have taken over everything. Claims of Venezuelan gangs taking over Aurora take center stage at presidential debate. Let's see what Snopes has to say about this. Unpacking hysteria over Venezuelan gang members allegedly taking over Colorado apartment. I can hardly wait. The anticipation's killing me. True or false? Well, actually, there's no rating. at all. Maybe they don't have enough information to make a determination yet, but man, that's kind of shocking. So let's move forward. After video of armed Venezuelan gang shared by local official goes viral, Colorado City takes action. What did they do? The mayor of Aurora, Colorado, announced on Friday that the city is starting the process of clearing the apartment buildings where transnational armed gang Tren de Aragua, I think, has taken. Aurora, Colorado Mayor Mike Kaufman announced on Friday that the city is starting the process of clearing the apartment buildings. The city's attorney office is preparing court documents to request an emergency court order to clear the apartment buildings where Venezuelan gang activity has been occurring. I guess that's not black and white enough for everyone. But let's continue on this 52-second clip again.
In Colorado, they're so brazen, they're taking over sections of the state. And, you know, getting them out will be a bloody story. Should have never been allowed to come into our country. Nobody checked them. Nobody checked. Were they criminals? Were they from jails? We have them pouring out from jails. We have the worst criminals in all of these countries. 168 so far are registered. 168 countries. I
think we could probably even stop there. Pretty clear to me he's talking about criminals. Those migrants that are criminals, referring to Colorado, which I just showed you is the gang activity. Trump has stayed keyed on this forever. That's a much different context than they are going to throw all migrants into mass detention camps, and that all migrants are subject to this line, and again, this clip.
And, you know, getting them out will be a bloody story. Should have never been allowed to come into our country. Nobody checked them. Nobody.
You see, this is how it all works. There's a longer clip out there. I don't need to play it because now you have the context of the story. It's the 1 minute, 24-second clip. The anti-Kamala HQ Lies Twitter page. Kamala HQ says Trump throws migrants into detention camps, which will be a bloody story. Out of context. I've just showed you that. The truth, Kamala HQ purposefully made their video 9 seconds because Trump was talking about Venezuelan gangs who are terrorizing Americans. This is a blatant lie by the Twitter page, Kamala HQ. And you see why now they stated that, putting things in context. So the two-word rant in Donald Trump's latest anti-immigrant rant sends chills down critics' spine. Should Trump have said it? More than likely, no. I don't think he should have. But the context was most important. But HuffPost isn't going to stop. The mainstream media is not going to stop. They're going to continue to perpetuate the thought of political violence, which has now led to violence against Trump personally. And they'll continue to propagate via selective editing, via words, via sound bites that are out of context of what was actually said. And how many times within the debate did we see evidence of that? Because they were Kamala's talking points. They were Biden's talking points, and they'll continue to be talking points. But I want to always put in perspective for you so you can demonstrate to others exactly how the mainstream media machine operates and how they will continue to operate and intensify this attack as we move in and closer to the election. Inside Team Trump's plans for mass deportation camps, but Trump did have a minor reply that nobody knows what he means yet. Did you see this post from Donald J. Trump? Man, did he just maybe have a typo? Did he just accidentally hit hashtag and hit send and forget what he was doing? Study that a little bit further. Some are claiming that even means checkmate. Are we coming in on some big announcement here from Team Trump? Because he just posted that. What is the meaning of that hashtag that he just posted? Man, this story is going to continue to get more interesting. We'll continue to focus on the intricacies when there is not emboldened statements made that are easy to cover, because the intricacies are how they shift an undecided base of people who still have yet to make a decision And when you have to take an entire dialogue and drill it into 9 seconds and put a bolder headline on top that is not applicable to the clip you provided below, is that really all you got? Well, that is the answer that most of America should ask themselves. Because, my friends, it is all they have. Because the only policy they have is to put us in the same horrible shape we all sit in right now. And if Kamala takes the reins, it will only get worse. So when you are devoid of any plan to help we, the people, you'll focus on clipping sound bites to make your opponent look as violent and as criminal as possible. And they'll continue to do that. I love you all. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justice Knight, signing out.